This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
"8:45, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by Niranjan Abesundara. Christmas dawns in a few hours. Midnight service will be conducted by His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith at St. Sebastian's Church in Khandana. Upper Savela, Kosgam and Ruanwell areas have been isolated. The number of coronavirus recoveries in Sri Lanka today crossed the 30,000 mark. The Sri Lankan Workers' Congress has temporarily suspend the party membership of the chairman of the Agrapatana Pradesh Sabha. In world news, Indian opposition demands repeal of farm laws after protests. Christmas dawns tonight. Special masses will be held worldwide at midnight tonight. The midnight service will be conducted by His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith at Sebastian's Church, Khandana, while Bishop Maxwell Silva will conduct the service at Our Lady of Lourdes Shrine, Kimalapitia. Bishop Anthony Jayakodi will conduct a service at Sebastian's Church, Morachua, while the Tamil Mass was to be conducted at St. Anne's Church in Colombo will be relayed over the Tamil National Service from 11 p.m. It will be conducted by Bishop Anton Randit at St. Sylvester's Church, Athakala. Apostolate Nuncio Ambassador of the Vatican in Sri Lanka, Archbishop Brian Udwegwi, will conduct the English service from the All Saints Church in Borella. Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith, has asked Catholics to give priority to religious observances this Christmas, keep celebrations only among family members, and help people with COVID-19. His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith added that this year's celebrations of Christmas Eve and Christmas Day service will be held every hour, starting at 6 p.m. today. He also asked the media to refrain from broadcasting programs that taint the true meaning of Christmas. The celebrations, including Christmas Eve Mass, will be limited to 50 people following strict health guidelines. Army Commander Lieutenant General Savanja Silva said Abisabel, Kosgam and Ruanwell police areas have been declared as isolated areas with immediate effect. Meanwhile, decision has been taken to isolate Abepura Gram Ledar Division and Jinnanagar area in Trincomalee from 6 a.m. this morning. Isolation status of Laksana 7 in Valampiti had been lifted with effect from 6 a.m. today. However, a total of 228 new cases of COVID-19 had been reported from the Colombo district yesterday, while 99 of them were identified in the Avisabela area. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
December, a range of unmatched benefits with People's Credit Cards from People's Bank.
The number of coronavirus recoveries in Sri Lanka today crossed the 30,000 mark. 686 individuals who contracted the virus recovered and were discharged during the past 24 hours, raising the total recovery to 30,568. Accordingly, 7,887 COVID-19 patients are currently being treated for the virus at 64 treatment centers. The number of COVID-19 cases in the country increased to 39,045 following the detection of 406 patients today. The Sri Lankan Workers' Congress had decided to temporarily suspend the party membership of the chairman of the Agrapatana Pradesh Sabha, Kadir Chelvan. Secretary of the CWC and State Minister Jeevan Thunderman said that he had been accused of violating quarantine regulations. Kadir Chelvan had participated in several state events while he was subjected to a PCR test. Later, he had been identified as positive for COVID-19. He is now obtaining treatment in Hambantota Quarantine Centre. State Minister Jeevan Thunderman and several other political leaders in the country area have been quarantined since Mr. Chelvan had closely associated with them. And that ends local news for now.
December, a range of unmatched benefits with People's Credit Cards from People's Bank. Discounts up to 60% and interest-free installment plans from selected merchants.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Police spokesman D.A. Jarit Rohan has said Inspector General of Police has ordered SPs, ASPs and OICs of all police stations to provide special security measures to churches in the respective areas today and tomorrow. Christmas will dawn in a few hours and therefore the IGP this evening issued a special directive to implement special security arrangements near Catholic churches and other places of worship. This directive was issued by two superintendents of police in charge of divisions, assistant superintendents of police in charge of police stations, and officers in charge, who instructed to meet with priests of the respective churches and discuss the security measures, he said. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
On to Watchlight, the Ministry of Health has issued guidelines pertaining to maintaining economic centres. For each economic centre to mitigate COVID-19, an officer is allocated to ensure the plan is enforced and to ensure the continuous cleanliness at economic centres. Chewing of beetles, smoking and spitting within economic centres will be strictly prohibited. Maintaining social distance while at economic centres and suitable waste disposals are also recommendations in the guideline. The ministry has also recommended the conduct of random PCR tests on persons entering economic centres. It has also been made mandatory to ensure facilities to wash hands are provided at the entrance to all centres. 16 economic centres are currently in operation in the country. Health ministers said the directives were issued in order to mitigate the spread of the coronavirus. That came to in Watchlight. On to world news. Indian opposition demand the repeal of farm laws after protests. The Pope promises to visit Lebanon and South Sudan as soon as possible. Thousands of migrants left without shelter at the Bosnia camp burned down. India's main opposition party pressed the government today to call a special parliamentary session to withdraw new agricultural laws that farmers say will leave them at the mercy of big corporations. Rahul Gandhi, a senior leader from the opposition Congress party, handed the president a copy of a petition that he said had attracted 20 million signatures online. The government said the reforms passed in September are meant to overhaul antiquated procurement procedures and open up the market. Pope Francis promised in his Christmas message today to visit Lebanon and South Sudan as soon as he could. The Pope usually mentions countries in his Christmas Day message, but he singled out those two nations with the Christmas Eve messages because of difficulties each has faced this year. He is deeply troubled to see the suffering and anguish that has happened the native residents and resourcefulness of the land of the cedars. He said, referring to Lebanon, which has been struggling with a deep economic crisis and aftermath of the Beirut port explosion on August 4th that killed about 200 people. More than 1,000 migrants from Asia, the Middle East and North Africa were left to sleep in cold after their camp in northwestern Bosnia burned down amid a dispute among Bosnian politicians over where to house them. A fire destroyed the camp in Lipa, housing about 1,200 people. Police and UN officials said the blaze had probably started by migrants unhappy at the temporary closure of the camp, scheduled for the same day, and uncertainty about where they would be relocated in Bosnia. Back to the headlines of the world news. Indian opposition demand the repeal of farm laws after protests. The Pope promises to visit Lebanon and South Sudan as soon as possible. Thousands of migrants left without shelter at the Bosnia camp burned down. Development news. Highways Minister Johnson Fernandez said the construction work on the extension of the Marine Drive from Kulipita Junction to Ranmatu Hotel will be expedited on the instruction of the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The minister yesterday made an inspection tour of the construction site. He added, work from the stretch between Kulipita railway station to American Embassy premises was halted due to security reasons. However, the matter was solved following the discussions held with officers attached to the American embassy. The construction work on the stretch will commence on January 10, 2021 and expected to be completed within 110 days. That was development news. On to sports news. Buron Hendricks and Keegan Peterson have been withdrawn from South Africa's test squad to play in Sri Lanka. Neither player entered the tour bubble when the playing group convened on Saturday after 2 positive COVID-19 results were detected last week. The CSC cannot, for reasons of doctor-patient confidentiality, name who the infected players are. South Africa have previously confirmed that 2 players in the test squad have been infected with COVID-19, but they have not been named. The other 17 squad members have tested negative on all 3 occasions, thus making the environment biosecure. South Africa will not add any players to the squad for 2 test series, which starts on Boxing Day. That is sports news. On to business news. The ambassador of the Republic of Korea, Woo Jin-jeong, met with Sanjay Mahotala, the newly appointed chairman of the Board of Investment in Sri Lanka, recently at the board premises. The ambassador was accompanied for the meeting by the Korean Businessmen's Association and Korean Resident Association. The ambassador and the Korean business delegation initially conveyed their best wishes to Mahotala for his appointment as the new chairman of the BOI. Discussion was on facilitating the existing Korean companies in Sri Lanka more effectively, especially for the businessmen who are facing difficulty due to this current situation with the COVID-19. That was business news. Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The merger proposal of Arpico Finance Company PLC with Associated Motor Finance Company PLC has been approved by Central Bank of Sri Lanka recently. 2 companies stated this in separate stock exchange filings. The surviving company would be AMF, and in terms of the said approval, AMF is required to complete the merger by 31st March 2021. The merger will commence subject to the principal approval being given by the Colombo Stock Exchange to AMF, and for the listing of shares of AMF arising from the amalgamation of AFC with AMF in terms of the listing rules and approval of the shareholders of both AMF and AFC by way of special resolutions and the concurrence of secured lenders to AFC and being received by AFC. That is economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And under the weather, Met Department say the prevailing shower conditions over the northern, eastern and north central provinces is expected to reduce temporarily in the next few days. However, showers may occur at several places in the northern, eastern, north central and Uva provinces. Showers and showers will occur at a few places in the Ratnapura, Kaluthara and Aurelia Golmatara districts. That was the weather report, and back to the headlines of the news. Christmas dawns in a few hours. Midnight service will be conducted by His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit at St. Sebastian's Church, Kandana. Abe Sabela, Kosgama and Ruanwell areas have been isolated. The number of coronavirus recoveries in Sri Lanka today across the 30,000 mark. Central Workers' Congress has temporarily suspended the party membership of the chairman of the Agrapatan Pradesh Sabha. In the world news, Indian opposition demands repeal of farm laws after protests. That ends the news, and on behalf of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, we wish you all your listeners a very Merry Christmas. I hand you back to Soundit Havam while wishing her a Merry Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, Soundy. Over to you.